You ready for your next speaker? I'm so excited about this one. So the thing about being a speaker is that we are our own brands, right? This is what people are buying. You, your skills, and the way and means in which you deliver that. So I'm delighted that our next speaker has worked with brands and people such as P. Diddy, Beyonce and L'Oreal, Rolls-Royce. Would we like to learn a little bit about how to commercialize a brand by somebody who's worked with those sorts of brands? Yay! Ladies, please be upstanding and put your hands together for Kubi Springer!
Thank you. Good afternoon. The energy in here is amazing. Sometimes I have to go on stage and I have to say, no, say that again. But you guys have just got it down pat. I was sitting down there earlier and I was thinking, I'm loving this already. So just one more time so we all feel like family. Good afternoon. Yay! Love it. Okay, those of you who are sitting here, can you see the flip charts? Because if you can't, you might want to move into the middle, and those of you in the middle, you might want to squeeze up a little bit. So I'll give you a few minutes. And those of you over here, you're fine. You can see the flip chart. All right, awesome. So I think I'm going to need a clicker. Do we have a clicker? Just so I know who's in the room, because I love to know who I'm speaking with. How many women here are currently speakers, by a show of hands? So you're currently being paid to speak. Oh, I'm sorry. Everything else in my books is called a hobby. A glorified one that takes lots of time and energy and makes you mad at the end of the day. But until there's an invoice going out, it's not a business, right? Are we in agreement? Okay, good. So my job today is going to be to really show us how we get those invoices paid on time before we turn up to the gig. How does that sound? Great, good stuff. All right, how many people here who know who I am, so I don't repeat any stories? A few of you. All right, the rest of you, hopefully by the end of the day, will get a little gist. So, can I just check time? What time am I booting off so I can keep an eye on?
3:45.
Which time? 3:45. Awesome, good to know. Okay, good. So, I've been lucky to be called from Adidas one of the top 5 external influencers and brand specialists in the UK, which is a really cool title, right? Yeah, and it's interesting what we were speaking about earlier in terms of making sure that you capture testimonies, because ultimately those are the things that are going to make people say, I want you versus I want you. So that's kind of what I've been given as a title, which most days means Jack Diddley. But I always open my presentations with it because it impresses people. So as mentioned, I've worked with brands. I've been doing this for 22 years.
Too young.
Oh, love you. Free consultation. 22 years. I started when I was 18. Do the maths. I'm going to be how old this year? 40. Can I start dancing? Okay, focus, Kubi. We've only got half an hour. So all the brands that are on the wall, I have worked with in one capacity or the other. I'm looking there, but you can look behind me. One capacity or the other. I started as an intern at MTV because I loved all things music when I was young. And then I thought I was going to get a job, and they offered me a job, but they only wanted to pay me £10,000. And I looked at them like, no, you didn't. After I just did 2 years internship for zero money. And so a friend of mine said, if you want to get paid in this world of brand marketing, especially within fashion, entertainment, luxury and lifestyle, you need to start from the bottom. And so my feeling is, no one's going to pay you when you don't know anything, because that's just delusional, which I was at 18. So if you're going to not earn any money, at least go and learn from the best. And so off I went, to my mother's absolute disgust, on the way to New York, arrived the day before 9/11. I know, that's another story. Any counsellors in the building? I think I'm still traumatised. Yeah, let's talk. Yeah. Arrived the day before 9/11. Long story short, I had an internship with Blue Flame. Blue Flame is Puffy's marketing agency. When I worked for Puff, that was his name. So I'm sticking with Puff. Good. So basically I worked with him, and I started off as a junior account exec on Sean John clothing line, and it was an amazing experience, and I was part of Puffy's black and white parties. Found myself in LA one day, and there was the very gorgeous, too goddamn fine, Justin Timberlake. And so I was at this black and white party, and I had a bigger mouth then than I do now, and so I kind of walked up to him, and I was like, you don't know me, my name's Kubi. And he shook my hand. No, he did. He really did. Yeah, he did. He shook my hand. Yeah, he did. And so we had a chat, and he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I work for Puff, for Blue Flame, and long story short, he was looking to build his brand for his choreographers around the Justified tour. Now I'm really showing age, isn't it? The Justified tour. And, because according to Americans back there, the UK and Europe, it's all one thing, isn't it? Gotta love our American brothers and sisters. They were like, look, you're from Europe, you do it. And so that's what brought me back home. I know, just love it. So I was 23 years old with my first freelance contract going, oh my. Luckily, I had a great support system around me, and if I didn't have it, I found them and pulled them towards me, and I did my first freelance contract. I'm not going to bore you because I've only got a limited time, but cut a long story short, that led to me doing, and I've got to remember in order, that led me to doing Nike Midnight Madness. Then I got the call from Mariah. Then I did Eminem and built up this reputation as this young black kid in London with a big mouth. If you want to commercialize your brand, go to her. And then about 26, I got the call from Kanye King at the MOBO Awards. Anybody know what MOBO is? Yeah. Okay, good. And Kanye basically said to me, we want you to come in and be head of marketing for the MOBOs. My claim to fame is £1.3 million sponsorship deal. Everybody say amen. Okay, so next you need to say damn fool. 1, 2, 3, damn fool. Damn fool. I didn't get a percentage of the deal. I tell you, I'm going to give you my battle scars today, people. So what I didn't know in my 20s is when you do a deal, you need to know your self-worth and always put in a clause that you get a percentage of whatever you bring in. Yeah. And that includes us speakers. So if someone's going to pay you to go to an event, great, speak at the event, and you say, oh, by the way, I've got a few thousand people on my Instagram. If anybody comes mentioning my name, I want a percentage of what I bring in. That's called knowing your worth. Never do flat fees, ever. Otherwise you end up like me at 40 going, oh my God, I could have bought 4 houses. Anyway, moving on. Whilst I was at MOBO, I was a freelance contractor, and various different contracts happened in between it. The movie Sex and the City came out. I got a call to launch that first movie in the UK. Yes. I did a contract with Rio Ferdinand, and then I got to about 30. And I felt really empty. Like I had this amazing portfolio, this phenomenal tick list of brands, but I felt empty. Now, part of it was because I was 29, turning 30, and your whole world goes upside down then, right? It's really interesting, because when you're 30 going on 40, your world doesn't turn upside down. Isn't that bizarre? Anyway, moving on. I digress. Stay focused. So, get talking about my birthday all the way through the session. Get used to it. So cut a long story short, what I realised is, going back a little bit, when I was 26, The Guardian did a piece on me. I was 26, I was female, I was black. How many tick boxes are they? Okay, great. So The Guardian did this piece on me, and I started to get loads of speaking engagements. And back then I was not paid. I just got rolled out, is what I like to call it now. Rolled out to universities, rolled out to secondary schools, just rolled out. And I didn't mind because I was really enjoying it. But when I got to 30, what I realised is, as many parties as I've been to, nothing fills me up more than teaching people how to build their brands. And so now another 10 years in, I have an agency, and we still do great campaigns because I have a whole bunch of millennials working for me that care about that stuff. They're like, oh, it's Fashion Week. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I've got to take off my heels. All right, London Fashion Week, here we go. But they love it. So I have a whole bunch of millennials that work for me, and we still work with amazing brands. One of the big brands we just finished working with, as mentioned, was Rolls-Royce. But what I enjoy doing, other than coaching the babies in my team, is traveling around the world and teaching people. And I mean, literally, like if you look at my Instagram, this year alone, I've been in New York, Ghana, Dubai. Now I'm in London, and then next I head over to Malaysia. This is all I do, plus run an agency. So should we get down to it? Yeah. Okay, First rule of thumb, when you stand up to speak, do what I just did, which is qualify yourself before you give out tips. The reason for that is because we're in a world where people want to say no. Okay? They cynically just want to sit there like, who are you? You don't know what you're doing. And then they switch off. And actually what I just did is I basically shut you the goddamn up. Drop the mic, let's go. It's really important. So whatever your history is, it may not be Puffy and Rio, whatever makes you amazing, that's what you start with. So that you close down all the minds of doubt that were in front of you so that you can get to the crux of what you're really there to do. Everybody ready to learn how to build their brand? Yeah. Let's go. I've done 3 speaking engagements this week, and I'm bored by my own presentation. So I called my team and I was like, I'm not doing that presentation again. I'm going to have a flip chart and we're going to make this interactive. Is that all right? Yeah. Good. All right. So the first thing is, do you think that branding and marketing are the same thing? No. Praise the Lord, we've moved on. It is not. Branding sits up here and marketing sits down the bottom, okay? You can take a picture of this if you want or write it down, completely up to you. Your brand sits at the top of everything you do. It's kind of the governance of the business. It's the vehicle that drives the business. If I had time, I'd start talking to you things like, what is your brand values? What is your brand essence? What is your brand personality? What is your brand promise? What is your brand history? What is your brand identity? What is your brand culture? If I had time, but I don't. So what we need to know for today is that branding sits right up here. Branding is not marketing. Off of your brand, you then have your products and services. Each product and service should connect to a different demographic, and the demographic has specific marketing messages to them. So let's take me as a speaker, okay? What is my brand? My brand is not She Builds brand. That's called a name. That is not a brand. My brand is this. Work with me, I'll make you money via branding. That's it. What do? Work with me, I'll make you money via branding. Everything within the organization, everything around the brand has to scream, work with me, you'll get results, making money via branding. And I wish I had a whole day with you, because I tell you to do things like work out on your Instagram whether or not your brand is really being reflected. And the chances are for about 70% of you, the answer will be no. But it's normal. But as a bit of homework, do that exercise. What is your brand promise? Kubi does not promise marketing campaigns. That is what we do. That is not who we are. Kubi does not promise a speaking engagement. That is what I do. That is not who I am. The brand is the why, the I believe, the who you are. Who we are as an agency is work with us, honey. You're going to make some goddamn money today via branding. Oh, and by the way, it's female focused. So the brand sits up here. I'm just going to stick with She Builds brands. Then you have various different products and services. One product is me. That's why, the logo's not up. It says Kubi Springer She Builds brands. One product is me. One product is you. But that can't be the only product. Otherwise, you won't be a billionaire. Newsflash, speaking doesn't pay enough even for Tony Robbins. It pays well, but it doesn't pay enough. So you are one product and you get paid as a speaker. But then you need to think, what are the other products that you can be offering? So for us, as an example, Kubi's one product. Obviously, we have an agency. That's another product. How many of you are experts in an area? Amazing. How many of you have businesses to support your speaking? Good. You're better than me. I went for a stage where I was loving speaking so much. I turned to my husband. I was like, babe, I'm not doing any marketing campaigns anymore. Done with all of that. I'm just going to speak. And he was like, well, you're an idiot. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, every time you go on stage, you get a new client. I went for a phase, honestly, I'm so transparent, I can't help it. Well, I was turning down clients because I wanted to speak. I'm a speaker. That's what I do, I speak. And money was going down the toilet. That makes no sense. So if you are a good speaker and an expert in a field, you must have a business that supports it, that then you farm that into. You might have another product, and we're going to talk about upsell, cross-sells, and downsells in a minute, but you might have another product that's a book. How many of you have books or audio books that you sell straight after speaking? Webinars, e-classes. How many of you want to make money? Okay, let's go through the list. You need a book. You need a webinar. You need an audio book. You need an e-course. You need other products. It's not enough to just be you, as good as you are. And I know I'm good, but you can't let money go down the drain. Come on, girlfriend. So you have your brand, products, and services sit here. Underneath each of your product services is a different target audience. Who is my target audience for my speaking, do you think? Someone shout it at me. Corporates, good, brilliant, that's one. Corporates, are they on Instagram? No. Good, so therefore I don't need to talk to them on Instagram then, do I? No. Great, so then my marketing campaign for corporates is very specific for corporates. The message that I give for corporates is specific. If you go on my Instagram, the Instagram are for people like you guys, female founders who want to buy the book or, join a webinar or become part of our membership hub. And therefore my Instagram and my Facebook speaks the language to people who cannot afford She Builds Brands. But my LinkedIn, my Twitter, that talks to people who've got some change in their back pocket. And the language has to be different because the marketing is different to the different target audience to match the different products, but it all feeds into the brand. Whether I'm speaking to you guys, whether I'm in Saudi Arabia talking to the princess, I am still the same. In your face, unapologetic. You're going to make some money today. Oh, princess, you got money? You're going to make some more money today via branding. The brand doesn't change. Does that make sense? Say hallelujah. I love it. I miss church, so I'm just bringing you guys to church today. Sorry. I didn't go this Sunday. I was too busy enjoying the sun. Okay, moving on, because I'm conscious of time. Did everybody take a picture of that first one? Yeah. Amazing. Okay, let's move on. The next thing that you want to do is you want to look at what we call the buy-in cycle. This is my really dodgy diagram. Don't judge me. The buy-in cycle starts with awareness. Awareness is all the stuff that you're doing on social media. Awareness is what you're doing here today in terms of events. Awareness is what you do when you update your blog, etc. All starts with awareness, but it doesn't stop there. The next bit is consideration. And what you need to work out is where is the potential customer in your buy-in cycle at any given time. So if you've got followers that have been with you for a while, I do this thing called Instagram Live. Everybody aware of it? Just have to check because some people aren't. So Instagram Live, I do it every single day, Monday to Thursdays when I'm not traveling. And so what I'm noticing on our IG Live is that there's some people who are always on, and that's good. If they're always on, are they here or here? If they're always on the Instagram Live, are they here or here? Consideration. If they're new, you guys that didn't put your hand up, you're here. This is awareness for you. Somebody came up to me and said, oh, Kubi, I came here just for you today. You're here, and bloody hell, you better be here real quick, otherwise we're doing something wrong. If you walked through the door for Kubi Springer and there ain't a result coming out today, there's a problem. I'm going to call my team and someone's getting fired. That was a joke. Oh, results. Oh, that might be my dyslexia writing. Do apologise.
And what's the next one?
Oh, I haven't got there. Yeah, this is why PowerPoints are good. Stay with me, honey, stay with me. So, awareness. You've got to work out where are they on the buy-in cycle. Are they awareness or consideration? Those are two very different customers in terms of the psychology of the consumer. The language to awareness is very different to the language of consideration. The reason why I started today by asking you how many of you have heard of Kubi Springer is not because I'm a narcissistic black girl. Even though maybe some days I am. It's because I just want to work out, are you at awareness or consideration? That's what's going on here. So once you say, okay, are they awareness or consideration, then you need to work out how do I get them from awareness into consideration? What do I need to be doing more? And then how do I convert them into sales? How many of you have a CRM system? Customer Relationship Management. Good. For the rest of you who don't, there's one that I'd recommend called Get Response. Get Response is completely free until you have too many contacts and then they start charging you, as these things do. But it's called Get Response. It's a brilliant CRM system. When you go to a networking event like this and you leave home with all these thousands of cards, everybody know what I'm talking about? You put them straight into Get Response. So in Get Response, it will tell you where you are in your system. Oh, it's awareness. Oh, actually, I had a few more phone calls with this person this week. They're considering. Hit the jackpot, there's results. But it doesn't stop there. 80% of business should come from repeat business. If you are not getting rebooked for speaking, don't be mad at the customer. Check yourself.
Hallelujah.
I like you. 80% of your bookings should be repeat business. So when you're here at results, your campaign doesn't stop. You are then thinking about, how do I create awareness for my existing customers? So you have customers that don't know who the hell you is, people who come to speaking engagements because they want to see you, get some results, and then the ones that have already booked you. There are 3 phases to your customer groups, and you must segment them, because the conversation that you have with somebody who's already booked you is different to the conversation you have with somebody who doesn't know you. Everybody getting that? And then, when you're in this awareness area for your existing customers, you need to give them options. Results, awareness, options. Everybody got this? Conscious, I've got 5 minutes left. I'm going to zoom through to the next thing. If you've got it, say, oh, I love you. 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to jump. Who would like to be up on here with me? And I'll use you as a bit of a guinea pig. Good, that was your first hand. It's coming up. Give her a round of applause. Oh, hold on, sorry. Before you come, do you have an existing speaking business? Sit down. You either do or you don't.
I am speaking.
No, that's not what I asked.
Okay.
Do you have an existing speaking business?
No.
Okay, good. I know I'm harsh, right? Why? Why am I harsh? Boom, because my brand is about getting results. I'm not here to mess with y'all. I want you to make money. Why? Because when you make money, you will come back. Repeat business. Okay, so I apologize if I offended you. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. Jesus will too. All right, let's move on. Who is in the speaking business? Good. Oh, sorry. I'll do another one with you, I promise, if they give me time. It's their fault if it doesn't happen. That one over there. Apologies. Come on up. All right. Hello. Give her a round of applause. Awesome. What's your name?
Deborah.
Deborah, what do you do?
I speak on your leadership story, developing your story.
Okay.
To connect. Do you want to say why? How?
Ask me. You take the mic. Don't keep it though. Ask me.
Do you want to know what I do?
No, ask me what I asked you. Come on. One
What
play.
do you do?
I make you money via branding.
Okay.
Your turn. What do you do, Deborah?
I'll get you to connect and engage more quickly with potential clients. And
Stop
customers.
there. They didn't ask for a whole bloody dissertation. And this is what we do. And then we wonder why people are like, oh, I'm boring. What am I going to eat tonight? Please don't bore people. Marketing's about being concise. Be concise. Yes, of course you can, Puppet. Just let me talk to them for a minute. Because she's a speaker, isn't it? Look at this, fighting for the stage. I'm joking. Love it. All right, your turn. No, my turn.
Okay.
Hi, Deborah. What do you do?
Help people to connect and engage more quickly through speaking.
Love.
Through their story.
Through their story. Good. Let's say that again. What do you do?
Help people to connect and engage more quickly through their story.
Then what would I naturally say if she said that to me? Exactly. The difference between branding and marketing is the push. It's where you push out messages. Branding is the pull. Branding is the thing that makes people just step to you and they don't know why, but they just come in. You know how many people say to me after a speaking engagement, Kubi, I really like you. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, I know, I worked really hard for that. Because you do, you work hard to build your brand. But if you build your brand well, people are emotionally connected to you. They come towards you without even realizing why, versus I'm going to push a message that makes them step away. So when you touch at the heartstring, which says, I help people to connect through stories, any human being who's halfway inquisitive is going to go, why? Or how? But look what my body's doing. When you ask a question, you're leaning in. That's good branding. Okay, so now I know what you do. Let's talk about the buy-in cycle.
Okay.
So can you please give me 2 customer groups that you have?
Corporate leaders
Mm-hmm.
and entrepreneurs of smaller businesses.
All right. That's like
SME.
that group is like that big. And I want us to narrow it right down. Yeah? So people talk about target audience all the time. I don't talk about target audience. I talk about your tribe. Because when you say your tribe, it helps you narrow down in your mind who it should be. Target audience is one of those jargon words that I had to study when I did my master's. But your tribe are people who believe what you believe. People who have the same pain points that you have. People who need what you have, not want what you have. Because if they need it, they'll buy it even when they don't have any money. So, let's try and narrow it down a little bit, Deborah.
All right. MDs in financial services.
Give her a round of applause. Good. Because when it comes to this, because you're talking marketing, because you're talking to MDs in financial services, you know what you're doing with marketing. You know what events to go to, what events not to go to. Okay, who's the other audience?
People with large SMEs. 50 million plus turnover.
Oh, Jesus, help.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to come on this side of you, Deborah.
Okay.
Let's narrow that down.
Come on, Deborah.
I don't know how to narrow it down.
So you said large SMEs.
Yeah.
Are there any particular sectors?
Um,
And this is key. Because I'm a speaker and I love to speak. You guys are speakers and we love to speak. But I don't want to speak to everybody. Like, honestly, I don't. I want to get paid to do what I love. I want to speak to people who I love connecting with. I love women. That's why the company's called She Builds Brands. So I want to speak to women. I want to speak to women executives. I want to speak to female founders. I want to speak to women who are growing businesses. I want to speak to women in emerging markets. I want to speak to women in New York. I want to speak to women.
okay, I've got.
It's all right.
You just gave me. It's women in financial services.
Oh, give her a round of applause. Good, thank you. Grab a seat. Good. Have you given me the 5-minute thumb yet?
You weren't looking.
I wasn't. Okay. So does that mean I've got 2 minutes to go or 5 minutes to go? 2 minutes to go. All right. So I'm going to close with this. The third thing I'd like you to take away today, and I wish I had more time with you because you guys feel good. You know when you're on stage and you can feel an audience that's good? You guys feel good. I digress. The third thing I want to take away is this idea of people don't buy all the time. So you need to work out seasonally, when are they buying? So if we take Deborah and financial services, they're not buying on the 31st of December. They're probably not buying on the 15th of August. Everybody agree with those dates? Yeah. Okay. So normally when I say to people, when is your tribe, when are they interested in buying your services? Most people go, all the time? Nope. So you need to work out when are they buying. Seasonally, when are they buying? You also need to work out in terms of days of the week, when are they buying? We've worked this out at She Builds Brands. At the beginning of the week on Instagram, our Instagram tribe, female founders, the beginning of the week, everybody wants to build a brand. Monday to Wednesday, Everybody wants to build a woohoo, new start of the week, gonna build my brand. Okay? That's Monday to Wednesday. Thursday, husband's annoyed me, children are getting on my nerves, I'm tired, kind of want to build a brand. Friday, don't talk to me about branding. That's what we've worked out. Why? Because they're thinking about if they're mothers, which our demographic, a lot of them are, they've got, football club the next day or ballet school or, tutoring, something other than building a brand. People don't buy every day of the week. When is your tribe buying? Because based on when they're buying will determine what you post. On a Monday, we post things that are about brand building, real hard stats and statistics and tips and things that are of value to the psychology of the consumer on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But on a Friday, and you'll see it, check out my IG, you'll see it, you'll be like, that's what Kubi's doing. On a Friday, I'll probably talk about, this week I did, 3 speaking engagements and I love the outfits. Hashtag Fashion Friday. Because nobody's building brands on Fridays. They're not buying. You still need to communicate with them, but you need to know how to communicate with them. And then lastly, what time of the day are they buying? Not necessarily. In fact, no. For my corporate clients, they are not buying in the morning. They are in meetings, busy, in work. So when are they buying? Late afternoon. Late afternoon, the boss is off the back. They've had all the pointless meetings they need to have. They're actually looking for a distraction now. Do you get where I'm coming from? Amazing. I'm going to close. My name's Kubi Springer. If you're a female founder and you are serious about getting your butt whooped, if you would really like to learn how to make money from your brand, I'm not going to offer you anything free today because I'm going to teach you how to make money, so why would I give it away for free? But what I am going to say is this. Let's connect. Let's talk. Let's keep the conversation going. You can connect with us at shebuildsbrands.com. We're on Instagram, Twitter, everything but Snapchat because they're only 18-year-olds there and they ain't got any money. I agree. And the handle is at She Builds Brands. You've been an amazing audience. Thank you so much for listening.
Ladies, it's Kubi Springer!